My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Kipmount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Cess, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
God bless you and God bless Liberia. That is Alex Cummings. That was Alex Cummings, the man himself, Alexander B. Cummings, our leader, man who is prepared, ready for every challenges that you will ever think about. He's ready to lead. I want to take this to welcome you guys, my 19 people that are watching me little by little. And also don't forget, and we have postponed the time because you see, and the slot on the radio station there is so many. So now it's Thursday. So it's every Sunday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock again will be on radio. And I got very good review, and I receive text in my inbox that people listen to it. And although the phone was not too good, so people who were calling could not go through because of it was the first day, so it was good. So I need to get a telephone, and it's so sad. Liberia is so damn expensive, my people. There's something that you connect with with iPhone. It's almost like a earphone jack. You plug it into the iPhone like a charger, and then you connect your earphone. That thing in America is, if you go to the iPhone store, it's like $10 or 15. If you go straight to the iPhone store, they got it on Amazon for $9. It's $55 in Liberia. Damn, $55. And I'm talking to the dude, and I had to call my brother to check and see if he can get another one. I sent $20 to buy it, but hey, I gotta look for another money. I got no choice. And I would need another phone, and I want Sidiki and myself to be on live while we doing it. But so far on Sunday, the show was great, and people call in, and I listened to one of the callers, but it was not too clear. He said, "I hope you don't leave the radio station." And so they called, who was in the station too. I won't call his name. He said, "My son," but the way he said my son, I know he older than me. That you broke it down in a way that I'm not into politics, but I think I have to be my mind. It was impressive. But let me say this: I want to congratulate Louis Brown. Maybe some of you guys don't know Louis Brown. Liberians, we don't know people, but we talk a lot. My brother from my empire was a member of NPFL. He never came with NPFL. He was not a soldier. He was a chief of communication, chief of signal unit. We all went Godric during the war, and I went Sierra Leone because I went to school in Sierra Leone. I refused to be part of anything, and I left. I went Sierra Leone, and my brother was there, helping to communicate, to fix radio. My nephew, my cousins, they all incorporated into within the NPP. But listen, my brother will always consider himself, he's a diehard NPP person. He never worked in government. My brother Mike Kishan never worked in Charles Taylor government. But Charles Taylor thought he was pushing Mike away, and Mike got his opportunity on the other side and started to work with Gus at his logging company. What people don't know, small ball. The other day I saw in the newspaper, oh, Mike Kishan, he's the one that buy arms for Charles Taylor. If Mike Kishan buy arms for Charles Taylor, I mean Charles Taylor's a dumb because Mike Kishan older than Mike Kishan, a little boy. How Charles Taylor will use Mike Kishan. And it's the same thing we try to tell about faculty. And may his soul rest in peace. And Louis Brown. Louis Brown was the student leader from the University of Liberia who, when Charles Taylor looked at them, he said, oh, this friend, they were talking. Sir, he was not a fighter. I watched the show today. But I want to say kudos to Louis Brown that he dealt with every one of them. Every one of them. And what surprised me was Dr. Tendi. Dr. Tendi, it was a shame. You are a professor. You lied on us today. You lied. You said, George, we have to pay your school fees. You lied. You said, George, we have went in refugee camp. That's what's shameful. You don't even have facts. And you also lie on Louis Brown. He took you from the prison. And thank God, Mo Ali, that you call his name. Look, and Louis Brown was LPRC director. He was one and security advisor after when Charles Taylor came to power. You know, the problem with Spoon, you got to do your due diligence. You got to, Louis Brown dealt with you. Let me tell the real truth. He dealt with you in a way that nobody could be, you won't believe it. And you expose yourself. Kev Hassan, it is a shame. It is a shame, Kev, you are dull to Louis Brown. You are dummy to Louis Brown. You accuse Louis Brown of your dead father. You accuse Louis Brown of your dead father. But guess what? If you guys who are in the CDC trying to tie Louis Brown to the war, which yes, he was a member, he was on the political side of NPP, yes. In the CDC government, the vice president is the former president's wife, Charles Taylor. Your economic advisor, he fought the war. He was a general, General Charles Bright. 60% of the security assigned to President Weah are all former rebels. Sereno Cephas, Natalia Magay, Eugene Nangwe, they were all Charles Taylor. They were all members of NPFL. They were the propaganda side. They were the journalists. They were there sending the message out for Charles Taylor. You know, you guys are so deceptive. You guys are so, you're shameless. You think you're going to change the Liberian people's mind? You're wasting your time. You guys are wasting. We know exactly, you know, but I love all Louis Brown. Look, Louis Brown, look, I am proud of you that you endorse Mr. Cummings. Yes. And you dealt with them on Spoon Day. You dealt with them, you make them look like as if they were nothing. Dr. Tendi, a professor, was lying publicly, accusing someone. We all was in a war. I came back, I worked with interim government before Charles Taylor came to Monrovia. Louis Brown was a civilian. He never held gun. But Tendi, that was a shame. The other day you were on Mr. Tendi. You castigated George Weah, although you put George Weah aside. And you said this government can never win election. The government can never do anything. George Weah is this. You don't see them winning. But they paid you little thing because Twerk will not come on the show. So they give you a small thing. You are drinking beer while you are on the show, drinking your beer, Professor Tendi. And you know, like it's so shameful, Liberians. The only people that know book are Liberian people. You gave a war and you trying to justify that war. It's not. And Dr. Francis called you out too. He said it's not a war. It is a shame. It is a shame. But you hide behind your doctorate degree. You are a professor at the University of Liberia. You are a professor at the University of Liberia. Yes. You try to hide behind it. I say you're the most educated man. You're the most educated person. So Louis Brown is nobody. You could not even speak to the issues, but you're trying to tie him. For Eugene Fagon, I knew the game you're playing, Eugene. I knew the game you're playing. When you started, I just watched this show. I don't watch Spoon Live anymore because they blocked me from comment, so it make no sense. When I listened to Eugene Fagon from the start of the thing, trying to impress and make it look that he was trying to speak for Cummings, how Mo Ali then took Cummings to court and whatsoever. Mo Ali said he would never ever campaign for CDC. Mo Ali, I'm sorry. Fagon trash. I will play the tape for you. He trashed George Weah. He said George Weah would pay him before he campaigned. So it is clear that they gave him something today. To see Fagon speaking and defending and trying to accuse someone of being rebel and whatsoever, then you know the guys are smart. But what they don't have, and they think is common sense, but common sense is actually not common. This man talking about manager. They're talking about country. He talking about, look, my people. If telling me George Weah never led anything before, George Weah never had a job. He worked as what? Ellen appointed him peace ambassador with no staff. He was supposed to put his staff together, but no staff. We don't know who the secretary was, just verbal things. And then he ran for Senate. You notice when you run for this position, is running for an office, it got nothing to do with the qualification. When in Liberia, see about education, it got nothing to do with the qualification. If the people decide to vote for you. If they die, it is a shame when I see people who go to school try to downplay Mr. Cummings, or men who are so successful, who work in one of the biggest industries, Coca-Cola. It's a company, but a company that you can find around the world. Coca-Cola is the #1 sale beverages world today. Coca-Cola. And the man went to the top. The black man before the white man. And you telling me he's not a leader? And he don't know? That's a shame. It's a shame on education. But you profess to be smart people. You went to school. You went to school. If they can elect President Weah with no experience. Look, and Louis Brown said something, and I say it all the time. There is no class, there is no job, no university that you will attend or work you will do that can tell you you will be a good president. It based on your individual self. President leadership is start from all the way down the road, how you live your life and how you go. That's why they will tell you in leadership, if you guys are smart people, there's a book written by Jefferson. The first chapter in that book talk about honesty. Honesty. A leader must be earnest. If you're earnest, you will not suppress, you will not destroy, you will not kill, because it's in you. But honesty is something that I don't see. I can talk about honesty, but what will you see to know that yes, I'm honest? Integrity. Integrity. That's the one you see. You respect yourself. You respect your family name. You don't want to denigrate anyone. And then it's what they call empathy. If you want to be a leader and you don't have empathy, you will be a bad leader, because you will not understand what other people feel. You will not understand how people go to bed with food, how they look like. What happened today? There are people in Liberia sleeping today with no food. But we got some dummy that will be watching me right now say, but in America, say people go to bed with all food. These are the educated fools, but they live in America. They live in America. We all this government have failed. We all know that. People sat down for 5 years and said, we will not say anything to President Weah. But they coming up. Oh, Ms. Brown, why you endorse Mr. Cummings? That's a question you need to ask. But you to attack Louis Brown about child sexual activities? No. Then you get it wrong. Because if you look at the CDC, Kev, if you look at the CDC today, because of NPP, they won election. And they just signed another contract. And you got a bunch of former rebels there. You get a audacity to stay because they gave you platform to talk. And let me clear this out before I go further. To my friend Stanton, look, you do not call a grown person rude. She did nothing to you that was rude. You were trying to push that little phrase. Oh, we don't know yet whether Mr. Cummings have tie in the wall. Why if we come out and say you, Stanton, had ties in the wall? Akara's Gray came on your channel and said it and lied that Mr. Cummings gave Ellen Johnson $10,000 to contribute to channel. That's a shame. That's what Moriah was trying to tell you. Rephrase it. Kev Hassan called Mr. Cummings gay. You never took action. Kev Hassan insulted Mr. Cummings on the show. You never took action. CDC people come out. So at the end of the day, yes, everything you said about Cummings is truth. When you praising Cummings, it's not for nothing. You're not making up story for Cummings, but you make up stories for CDC. So you wrong her. Whether you can say what you want to say, you don't call her rude. She's a rude woman. It's because she's not married. And you say you respect Dr. Frances. Dr. Frances had a special way of dealing with questions. She's a psychiatrist. She don't talk too much. She look at it and she put how it's supposed to be. Or because Moriah is not married and you said she's rude, that's a disrespect. You could say, you can put it in a different way. But she was not on the show. She took herself out. She said, I see her. You can't tell the people that she was rude. She did nothing to you because you were still doing it, and you do that sometimes. That's a radio station you operate in. The news is going. Do Mr. Cummings, my question to you, I challenge you to say on your show, do you believe that Mr. Cummings contributed to rebel activity in Liberia? Do you believe that? But at the same time, you said you call people out when they call Mr. Cummings gay. You never said it, but Kev Hassan on the show. Kev Hassan insulted Mr. Cummings and called Mr. Cummings team before. Called Mr. Cummings corrupt. And let me give you a small sense. Let me give you a small sense. Politics, when they tell you the tap is clean, that is what they look for in leadership. When you see the people you consider corrupt and they follow your clean man, that means that individual you're talking about corrupt is not corrupt. That because of the system. So they are prepared, they want change. In politics, You cannot push the old politician away. Sometimes you don't know. In politics, you can never push aside people who were in there before. At the time, they are the one there. If you want to change, you will have to cross the aisle. Common sense. Why George Weah appointed Charles Bright, Emmanuel Shaw, Eugene Nangwe, Mary Bro were part of CDC? No. They helped them. Eugene work. Why should be the one still working? But that was your choice. You can't push old politicians away. You must come to change the system when you want to change it. They say the fish rotting from the head. And if you don't know, ask a fisherman or fisherman. When you get a fish, you put it down, it starts from the gill. Corruption starts from the head. When the head is corrupt, the entire body is corrupt. Then you want to talk about why Mr. Cummings land, or because Louis Brown did not endorse you. Louis Brown is not a small man. In our time, he's not. And I love the way he dealt with every one of y'all. Y'all were little, I see, and he treated, he said, y'all little boys to him. Y'all ain't see nothing, y'all brave. They pay Eugene Fagon to come back because he said he will not campaign with us. They pay Lester Tenney. People who disgrace President Weah already. We were used, I can always say Prosper Tenney because like I don't play for about. We were used Dr. Tenney wars. We use Eugene Fagon wars. These are people, sometimes you got to be careful what you say on social media. And you think you will justify it. And let me make you to understand. The Eugene Fagon, the Tenney, none of y'all make President Weah win election. President Weah was going to win. Go back to my tip. Up to the time I was supporting Mr. Cummings. I said, listen, Joshua will win this election, but I'm supporting Mr. Cummings to put ANC in a comfortable position. And that's what we did. So we were campaigning for Mr. Cummings to be ready to show, like Brempo said, he's a force to rock on with. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Mr. Cummings will get endorsement every month until election. We are the underdogs. You think we don't know that you guys are already popular? That's what Mr. Louis Brown said. But Mo Ali took a different way. Mr. Cummings is between the former ruling party and the ruling party. Because the VP was 12 years. So we are the one. So what pissing y'all off when somebody, y'all don't cry for us. We the ones supporting Mr. Cummings. We are the ones supporting Mr. Cummings. I'm on social media right now. I'm not on radio in Liberia. Because the same topic, I will be on it on Thursday. And see the way I will give it. The Liberian people will understand it. The Liberian people will understand because I will say the real Liberian way. There too much lies must stop. There is nothing you won't tell me now. You can't campaign against Mr. Cummings anymore. Oh, Louis Brown at this. Oh, Dana Chair at this. They're from Grand Bassa County. If you don't know, now people. And listen, let me tell you something. What make it great and what make it important? That they are still member of their party. They didn't resign. Louis Brown is still a member of NPP. Do you know how many NPP people are going to follow Brown? They're not the whole NPP now. Do you know how many people will follow Toga McIntosh from his party? He's still a member. Before December, and people will understand, they say, yes, it is truth. It is truth. The government failed the Liberian people. George Weah failed the Liberian people. Until the friends now of George Weah will speak out. Because given 5 years, President Weah don't love Liberia. And what people are suffering, you should be ashamed of yourself in America. And Eugene Fagon, Louis Brown told you something today. You learn Liberia before you criticize George Weah. Because Joshua is insecure. So everybody is insecure. Joshua is insecure. Mr. Cummings accused President Weah of spending $150,000. Come out and respond. I said they accused President Weah, and he gave the fee. And there are documents to prove. People will, if President Weah come out and defend it, you will see the one out coming up. There you want turn around, Mr. Cummings. That you think you're going to go back 20 years? You better stick on President Weah's fast record. You think you're going to last year when refugee camp? Or you went Danale? There is no refugee in Danale. And Dr. Tendi, you lied. You lied. The only money that Weah ever gave to University of Liberia, let University of Liberia come and show that President Weah contributed more than $5,000 to them. Show it. Or you can go and make up something quick. Saulo Nelson there. During those time, they gave $5,000 and a bus. But all of your lie. Tendi said Jawia pay his school fees. Tendi, he said Jawia pay his school fees. Then Jawia went in refugee camp. Okay, granted, he went in refugee camp. We'll make him president. What he did, he had visited Ghana over 20 times in 5 years. He never stepped in the camp to see Liberians who are dying. He never stepped in the camp and 20 lies said that Mr. Weah went in the camp to talk to people. How shameless are you to lie publicly? I challenge anyone from the friends of George Weah. Show me one picture, and I continue to say it, that George Weah stood on the football field. The Eugene Fagon, when we were in Ghana, I was the coach for Buck Challenge. Eugene Fagon played for Buck Challenge. Let them show one picture of President Weah standing in front of a librarian talking. Bunch of liars. You think that how they will give it the president? They're not working this time. They're not work this time. We will tell the librarian people that lie must stop. George Weah was not a man. People came from America and went in Ghana, spend money, help Liberians. George Weah never did it. George Weah never did it. So lies because of football. We accepted it. We accepted it. What's my question to you? In Liberia, if you listen to me, let's agree that President Weah went there. Let's play the devil advocate. Now, he president. He got power. In 5 years, President Weah have visited Ghana. They got Liberian refugee in the camp there. They said they must leave. They cry, oh, our government. President Weah never visited them. To say, okay, my people who want come, who can come, who government will give you small thing to start business. He never visited them, but he go there and have a good time and come back and dance buka. Then you'll say the country not corrupt. I put a post today, the Invisible Park. The Invisible Park got a pastry shop. This pastry shop is controlled by one of the employees from LPRC and what her name said, Ophelia. Who own that shop? Nobody get permit to that fee, football fee. Other people have tried. Nobody got permit to sell. But there's one pastry shop there that is owned by President Weah. If I lie, I will never succeed. That is shameful. News can hide. Pastry shop that an ordinary Liberian can go and just sell on a fee. Why didn't you name the park the President Private Park? They got a pastry shop there. And that place, every day, all the big people go in there. Nobody can sell there. Only that one shop. Who own it? Who the money going to? That everything, small thing that I do. Amen. Liberians, you open your eyes. The international community, our neighbors, they laugh at us. They say, we're not ready. You demonstrated in the street and told President Weah that Magay were corrupt. Magay and the other guys were corrupt. He refused to listen to sedition. Sedition put up speeches all over the place that the white man, so that means that the American ambassador running Liberia right now, the white man had to tell Joe we are a criminal. You refuse to fire them. At last, they resign. Maybe they stay in the government. Maybe they stay got security. This is not fair. Our people are suffering. And for you to sit and say, President, we are obese. Listen to me. Liberian people, don't let them lie to you. No opposition fail us. Opposition never gave nobody a job. Opposition never took on any project. Opposition do not collect taxes. George Weah collect the tax. George Weah make the appointment. Everything is on George Weah. No opposition fail you. Even if the CP don't hold, they ain't fail you. They're not the one that running the country. President Weah is the one. Some people think all the legislators. Let me tell you something today. Yes, we verse with the legislators. But what we don't know, in the legislators, you need majority to pass anything. In the judiciary, you need majority. In the executive, you don't need majority. You only need one man that can fire you and employ you and tell you, say, go home. Only one man can instill the law because they are the one that implement the laws. My people, don't let them lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. That's why I'm supporting Cummings. Cummings do not lie. Cummings is being consistent. Cummings is consistent. Cummings have been saying the same thing over and over. If you look for a leader, you're looking for the hair to be clean. When you go to Dana Kiase group, you will see old politicians. You go to Tier 1 Gonglo, you see old politicians. Some people who you believe they are crooks. No, you look at the hair. You should worry if the head is crook. Like you can worry about Bena Euro because Bena Euro got a record. Now you can worry about Dana Kiase because Dana Kiase to get a record in America. That's what you worry about. You can worry about George Weah because of his last 5 years record. The corruption is so high. But look at it today. Corruption has been a problem in Liberia. But certain time getting it. President Taylor was fighting against security. Insecure, it was a security problem. But President Weah took over a government where we're not fighting war again. President Weah ran on transparency, implementation of the War Crime Code, and justice for all. There is no war in Liberia. President Weah, whether the money was there or not, he took over a government that was already settled. That he need to go and put things in place. Because the people he got with him today, they all work in the government. Natana Magi worked there, and Samuel Tua worked there, Eugene Nangwe, Mary Bro, the foreign minister, the former foreign minister, the internal affairs minister, they all work in the government. So it was an easy thing for him. He never took on no broken government. Which one you prefer, for a broken government or for a government with money? Ellen took over a government that was broken, and she came in with a government that had only $80 million. We might not like her, but make her to look like a star, because the government, this is the worst government in our history that you see Liberia for the first time see corruption. The first time for Liberia to actually see corruption that in this government. We see a broad day. Even if I steal money and build house for my people, that problem, you will be brave to say it. Then you won't bring the war back. The war that some of us kept aside. You say you lost your father. Where you lost your father at? Where? In the hills? But you're supporting a government right now that got more rebels in the government. When they endorse Mr. Cummings, they corrupt. When they endorse George Weah, they okay. We will be on the market door. George Weah, Liberian people will reject you. So Stanton, you wrong Mariah. You shouldn't call Mariah rude. What does she tried to cut you off? There's a way you say it, not the word rude. You don't do that. And you also replay what Kev said when we build a platform. Want her on your show? Nobody pressure you to say, oh, give him Mariah time. Not because she's not married. She's a woman. You don't call her rude. You were wrong. There's another word you could use better than that. And then two, she was not on. What did she take herself off? You do not attack her. You can call her rude. That was wrong on your part. You are married man. You are married man. Don't say I respect that because you met Mr. Francis, Dr. Francis husband, or because Mariah is not married. You can call somebody wife or somebody girlfriend, somebody mom rude. She did nothing to you. She only was trying to correct you, and that was the right thing she was doing. What else she won't cut you off? Then you say, I'm gonna talk behind closed door. You're running a radio station, my brother. You stay my friend. I know you're not speak to me again because you're good at that. You're good at that. You're not pick up my phone call. I bet you not call me. Yes. But the truth is the truth. When I read it, people who know Kishen, I can put my friendship one side and tell you the truth. She did nothing to you on that show. You right on the show, Akara's Gray lied that Mr. Cummings brought expired drugs. Akara's Gray lied on your show that Mr. Cummings gave used generator. You ever went there to check? You ever went to BWR to go and check? Oh, so that means you supported George Weah. And if you come out today, I will say, if you come out today and say you're supporting President Weah, nobody going to be surprised. You're not going to be surprised. If you say you're supporting Cummings, they will be so, oh, for true. But you playing the game that you want to play. You getting the pressure from CDC government. They texting you. Because the fact of the matter is that you are the only one with a 3 radio station in Liberia who can say whatever they want to say and stay registered while other people have been struggling to get a frequency and they can't get it. Other people struggling to get a frequency, they can't get it. I like the show. You go on George Weah sometimes. You go on everybody. You go on Ellis Cummings. So I don't care. You can go on Ellis Cummings, a political leader. But what you are trying to portray, and then Louis Brown even called you. And that is how Stanton behaved. You read something from the war, and right there you said the man was a security advisor. Now the man called you out. He called you out. And you do that all the time. My brother, you do that all the time. When the show is tough, that is time you'll start getting all the text messages from Liberia to distract, because of what Eugene was doing today. Tuer could not come on show, so they pay Eugene Fagon because he said he would not talk until they pay him, and they pay Prosper Tenny. How they will bring 2 people who trash George Weah? Let me take a break. Let me take a break and listen to this song, because this song will be my theme song, and from now on, and we'll use it during the camera. So you're listening to Eugene Fagon.
This world can be for your steps on to wash it down. We go shopping 350 US dollars. This world can be for you to learn to do lobster and it's showing the baby chicken and driving at it. That's now car. This world can be. How much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you, you are fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who say you used to do your homework? Who say you are dull? Who left you behind? And joined the world campaign for your steps on to wash it down. We go shopping 350 US dollars. That this world can't be. But you like to eat lobster and he's showing a baby chicken and driving at the that's not car. That means world can't be. That means how much money did you send to me to campaign for you and fight for you? How many times did you call me? Did you even call me to say, dog, thank you, you're fighting for me? You think we stupid here? Joshua, you think we stupid here? Eugene Nangbe, who said he used to do your homework? Who said you were dull? Who left you behind and joined the ruling party? He served as Secretary General for the ruling party. Was that not the man we had to battle against to give you the presidency? When he was the lead propagandist of the government that we brought down, was I not your lead propagandist against him? He sits comfortably beside you in your luxury private flights that you take around the world. I who defeated him, I was subjected to his leadership. Nobody's stupid here. The very man that is the Minister of Information today, wasn't it the man that denied Dwana Sion and Kwame Weeks and your little chicken radio station, President Weah, was only around Monrovia, Bomi, and other areas? You think we stupid here? We gave you the victory. But today, they have become your worst enemies and they have become your friends. But what we will not accept from you and your friends is to take our loyalty for stupidity. Campaign for who? And against who? The first 5 people you appointed in government. You appointed Bezonga Finley. You appointed Mary Pro. You retained Vani Salif. You maintained Eugene Nangbe, the traitor that forced us to work 3 times more. The then Chief of Staff and the Deputy Chief of Staff were promoted to Minister of Defense and Chief of Staff respectively. The current NSA boss was the deputy to the son of Ma Ellie as NSA boss. You promoted him to NSA boss. We work our tail to give you power. Loyalty is not stupidity. Small leg here. Riding for the $7,000 car. I said in your chicle and get to chew. I will not campaign for you unless you pay me. I'm not stupid. To use me and dump me. For your business, house are lost. Cars are lost. Marriage are lost. Business, everybody saw it, are lost. Bank account are lost. My only reward was a stupid job and a smoking car. Dirty and ratty. You have never even put your hand in your pocket and give me $20 before you, money. For 2.5 years, I was defending you. They will not even allow me to enter your yard. One day I beat my way. When the girls Lone Star team, 3 or 4, Zoga and all, we walked down on the field. Eugene Nangbe, all of us, 3 or 4. You were the captain. You shook everybody's hand. When I presented my hand, you passed me. They jailed me. They suspended me for your business. You fired me for your own business. And I stand by what I said. I'm not stupid. I cannot get me for leg here to drive for the $7,000 car. The wife will campaign for. I'm not stupid. That is what campaign for your stepson to wash a car. With more champagne, $350 US. That is what campaign. That is what campaign for you like to eat lobster and he's showing a baby chicken and driving at the $8,000 car. That is what campaign. That is what campaign for Janako to be Controller General. Buy a web that PPCC Plus. That is what campaign. That is what campaign for Bessie Yegan to be head of place. Buy a web that run the big woman to NASCAR. That is what campaign. That is what campaign for Emma Castro to be the head of NAFA. While husband is a consultant to Marita. That is what campaign. Oh, that is what campaign. So from the officials, Zogala my own friend, but Zogala to youth and sports, $1 to NAFA. Safwa the head of NOCA, or brother the head of National Investment Commission. I'm gonna continue. That means supposed to campaign. Eugene Langbe, Patrick Honor, Ledger Hureni, Henry Costa, Mamadi Diakete, we were all on one side. I took them on and I defeated them. You prefer to take Jefferson Koji, baby ma or girlfriend, to can't go be registrar here, than to even make me a public relation officer to even eat bread. And you don't appreciate. And I'm saying again, for the record, I will not campaign for you. President George Manneh Weah, I will not campaign for you. Look at this other wizard that you sent before the Senate. That you, George Manneh Weah, you lied to the Senate. The resume you put on your executive mansion was not for him. So let me ask you as president, what did you use to appoint this guy? What did you use? At the back of your palm, you lie on him. You put your own resume there. That's what he said to you. The friend can carry car to the car wash to go wash it. Everybody can wash the car with $350 champagne. If they could just drop one drop of the champagne on my tongue, maybe I will feel like a human being. But loyalty is not stupidity. Because me, I'm not Samora sister, or I'm not Emma Glasgow husband that you can get job to, but I mean, monte radio and microphone to campaign. It's a president same way you say Igbana, me a Cuba, I'm not chunk, I'm not bere.
Thank you, Eugene Fago. And thanks and woe to all the one who insulting under my post. They ain't get nothing to say. They call Cummings criminal. We beat y'all at market door. Trust me. Some of y'all, like when Costa said they need some people vote, that's true. Like y'all, all the citizens can vote for Joe Weah, they can't be president. Some of y'all are dumb. Some of y'all are dummy. You're feeling forgetting 2017. You engage Joe Weah the victory. Other people don't to give Joe Weah victory. The people that join, they done with you. They know that President Weah is a crook. If you call Mr. Cummings a criminal, that means you don't get nothing to say about Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings has an agenda. Josh Weah don't have none. Mr. Cummings contributed up to $5 million into our society, helping people. He built the community, the engineer college in Nimba County. Mr. Cummings got the oldest school, high school in Liberia. And guess what? Because of his good work, that school cost $600. But they got other school, other international school. They got another school, the American school, that are $10,000 a year. The other $5,000 and $6,000. Mr. Cummings on a $600. Science, technology, engineering, high school. They compete with other African countries. Oh, you don't know that they go to Ghana and they won or something? The only school, President Weah based school before? No. The only STEM school in Liberia that you can take your child from America here today and go visit and they go there until they can come back to Liberia. The University of Liberia, the computer lab, who did it? Mr. Cummings. Joe Weah did it? No. The UMU University, the graduate school, it named Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings Foundation. In fact, Mr. Cummings have contributed, I don't know how many thousands of people with scholarship. Don't you know Mr. Cummings still pays some children WAEC fee? Liberians, you need to open your eyes. You're talking about Weah, you're on a page here, you're here watching the talk. You're talking about President Weah, what he did for 5 years. President Weah who led news. You saw President Weah in Nimba County breaking ground for road? No. You ever saw President Weah in Maryland break ground for road? Because the roads that were in process when he started. Oh, we build roads. Look at the life of the people. Look at the lives of the people. You're supposed to be ashamed of yourself. You unpatriotic Liberians. You should be ashamed of yourself. Will be your market dollar. People will reject you. There is no way President Weah can win this election. You put all the sedition together, they can't give it to him. And guess what? You are the ruling party. You're not opposition. What made you to win and other people join you is because you were the opposition for 12 years. Let President Weah 150. Not he said he in the war. Why he can't come out and defend himself? Why he can't come out and clear the air? You can accuse him. Everybody now accuse him for it. Bunch of hypocrites. Lies. Liberians will not fall for lies this time around. If George Weah can be president, Zoko can be president. If George Weah can be president, anybody can be president in Liberia. But we will get the good person. Mr. Cummings will be the next president. You can cry, you can do so. The Liberian people will see it, and they're seeing it right now. You can go and talk about your polls. You can do it. We are the underdog. You're not sort of worried. You say Mr. Cummings can't win. Why are you worried for? You say Mr. Cummings can't win. Why are you worried? You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be happy that he can't win. Wrong campaign. Run your campaign. Some of y'all live in America. You can't even vote. You will not even vote. Some of you live in America, you're damn stupid. I will say it to in America. Why are our people dying in Liberia? The country you live in that you will never suffer. You scare your coward to stay out. And to all George Weah friends who know President Weah, that's not the Weah you knew yesterday. If you love your country, you will spout. You will tell the Liberian people that President Weah is a 419 guy. If you know you love your country, they can tell you whatever they want to say, but do not live with that conscience. You saw Makalo, Karika, you need to come, you write books. You tell the people who President Weah is, because when we tell them, they don't believe it. They don't believe it. He lied to us. The President Weah you knew yesterday, that he there, we thought it was just a football, so he was a dictator. But just to find out, he's a bully. Lied to us. President Weah lied publicly. He said he had 2 farms in Sano when he had an interview with Colley and Leggy who ran it. Y'all who the so-called journalists, you ever went there to find out? President Weah gave a speech. He said he left Grand Crew 1975 and arrived in Monrovia 1979 during the Rest Riot. His man never lived in Rivers in Grand Crew. That means he was 9 years old when he came to Monrovia. But how can you be 9 years old? You come to Monrovia, but your mom who born you, she never lived there. She never went there. She from Riverside. But when you go back again and check the other record, they say he was born in Mama Point. The president continued to lie. And you're listening to Moluba Molu? That's truth. The president go out and solicit money and use it for himself. President Weah make up to $100 million. He's from Gibraltar. They all from the same slum. But they won't turn around and call other people elite or Congo. When you, President Weah, made all that money, but who you got around you today? Look at people that around you today. Look at the people. But he's telling you, give me another mandate. I didn't want to give you. I will not fail you. That means you failed them already. But Louis Brown, I want to say thank you, my brother. You dealt with them accordingly. Every one of them was a dummy. They came the wrong time with no research. Or professor from the university, Professor Dr. Tendi. You come on show with no reference, with no document, and you want parlor story. Yes, it happened that they collected you from the University of Liberia. We know that. We were in Liberia. They collected you. But for you to lie, say that Louis Brown carried, you lie. You lie. So they say, they say. So they say. Then you want to lie, Dr. Tendi. That's a shame. You said Louis Brown made you look small on the shoulder. You are there laughing, drinking beer. That beer you're so. They gain small thing. They pay Eugene Fagon too because Eugene Fagon say he can't come out. We'll all pay. So who should believe you? The day you tell me you had a long story, but you're afraid of Joshua. You say Natalie Maggie corrupt. Everybody around Joshua corrupt. They fooling Joshua. Joshua like baby. We ever voted for Maggie? We voted for Joshua. Or because you don't get a job. Now they give you something now, then you get a mind. And you know what I like? At least you admitting that comics is good. If you can, if you know what I don't understand, y'all. This is what giving Cummings the strength. Sedition are saying that, oh, Cummings can be president. Cummings a potential president. Cummings will be president in 2029. Why? Because he's the best man. Do you think the Constitution say it's a must that you go 2 terms? That they play your Messi? What kind of education you get? But you admitting the fact that Cummings is qualified and he's the best man. But to you, you must get 12 years too because Ellen got 12 years. What kind of dumb idea is that? Liberian, if you listen to me and you in Liberia, let me tell you, it make no sense. The seditionists are saying that Cummings will be president 2029. They admitting, they know that Cummings qualify. They say, but now this time, when we are finished, then I Cummings time. What they're trying to tell you that if your man Joa, man Mary, and whatsoever, if your child going to school, if your child now graduate, your child won't run for anything. They can't run now because that Cummings will be there 2029. So nobody going to run. You see that kind of idea? You see how the mindset? You see the mindset? You understand what I'm talking about? The Constitution says that you can run for 2 terms. But guess what? When the Liberian people vote for you, your first term will determine your second. Now, when you spoil it, then you won't also give it to you that you're not coming back again. Let's say something. Joe will get 2 terms that you want to give. The first one, he didn't do nothing. He can't beg him. If you give it to him again, you think he can't come back to beg you again. So that means he himself will put in your mouth in your place and say you're too stupid. But what he don't know that Liberian not stupid. He don't know that Liberian people do not have patience for bad leaders. Liberian quit to train. You know, Liberian people train. Pape must go. Pape must go. The Liberian people tired. The only people who can be dying in Liberia and don't know that the weird ones, they die hard one. If the black when a long teeth man die, he's smiling. They see one who are jumping the street about Natalie Maggie. You heard them who are talking about Natalie Maggie again? Yeah. That's sedition. They don't know what they want. They believe in when Joey are good, dry, ready, happy. Oh, look at the paper eating rest. Then when you thought they say good men, educated people. But yeah, Ellen did the same thing. You saw the problem in Liberia before you run for office. Your opposition 12 years. You never had a plan. Today, you're staying get a plan. What are you running on? What is the plan that CDC on? What they want to tell us about their failures? They can't even admit their failures. They're still lying to us. Oh, December, we pass the Millennium Challenge. You pass it before you can answer. Then you ready, you say, oh, the economy will grow by %, and the people suffering, you say economy will grow. Yes, on paper, it grow on paper. But let's see. You think what the people will eat? That you yourself put your report together. Do you that what the Liberian men want to hear from you? Another economist, but do you think Liberian men who catching hard time, one can't tell you about DP and the other one grow, the economy will increase by 3%, this and that? When you finish carrying the budget up and we are eating enough, our money just going. Handful of people stealing the money. Until America, our greatest allies, our big brother, our pa, Tell you, say, you're corrupt. Corruption starts from the head. President Weah is corrupt. He's corrupt. How can you fight corruption when we see it every day? Children are going to school. People can't feed their children. Fathers are trying to be different things in the home because they are not men anymore. Handful of people enjoying, they will come up. And let me say something. I like Joseph. I like what he's doing. But let us be honest to ourselves. Liberians are not looking for political humanitarian. Sir Joseph was on Spoon yesterday. He asked a question, but what Mr. Cummings now do? What Sir Joseph did before he became representative? What was his work in Liberia? He built school before he became president? No. He using his office. It's against the code of conduct. You cannot be an elected officer or political appointee and do business. You know why? The business that Sir Joseph doing, it got influence. His office got influence. So an ordinary man truck will not be rented. They got to rent Sir Joseph truck first. And Sir Joseph, you should not be. You come in and you brag about it. That's why when Samora was bragging about all the businesses he got, some people got first. The Ebola thing, you put your picture on it. You benefited for it because you did it for political reason. Whether you got money or not, but you benefited from it, but you say you don't own it. But you got businesses running, Mr. Senator. That's not your job. That's not your job to build school. Your private school or your own school you build. If you retire tomorrow, it is your school. You're supposed to make sure government improve the government schools. Government must build schools. But everybody, So because you got money from government before you started doing all these things. Mr. Cummings work. You say which much is given, much is required to give. Mr. Cummings has given, and he challenged you. He had given over $5 million to Liberian government, to Liberian people, helping people. You never did it. President Weah never did it. You talking about Mr. Cummings' school expensive. President Weah ever built a school for someone to go free? Your school that you said the people pay $50. Do you have a laboratory? No. Do you have a library there? No. But go to the Ellis Cummings Foundation Academy. They got everything there. STEM school. STEM school. The only high school that when you move from there, you qualify to go to where you want to go. Then you say $600 expensive. Cummings Foundation gave that school $25,000 every year to subsidize. But right, government supposed to subsidize all the schools. Go and check the Minister of Education, his wife got a school. How much do they pay to go to that school? How much do they pay? Almost $1,000 to go to that school. But Cummings school is $600 or $400 or whatsoever. Joshua ever built a school in Liberia? Joshua got a foundation in Liberia that help people? That's a lie. We challenge you. You're sure the documents. You got Akara's Gray, and if you're in District 8, if you vote for Akara's Gray, then you're not a resident of District 8. That means you don't want the future of District 8 to move. This man have bragged. He stole the Ebola money. He lied to you. He lived in Dwason. His only house he ever built is in Dwason. He told you he was not going to contest, so he gave a damn about you. You couldn't see him. Now he coming back to you to take 2 or 3 months of his salary to fool you. And to all Liberians, that is what they do. You go to Nima County, Senator Kum, they gave him $30 million to waste into Nima County. $30 million. 30. And you're with the NPP. We passed all that nonsense. You in bed with CDC. CDC is saying you are a rebel. That is why they deny you your first time. They didn't give you a damn thing. You sign contract with them again. You think this time you will get up because of your own selfishness, maybe the vice president and Bernie, their selfishness, they sign. They sign, that's your business. But what they do for you before, they will not do it again. Or maybe you got different plans that you think Joshua will win, and maybe you might take over the country too. Yeah. And then they will treat you the same way because the first time President Weah won, they thought CDC, the NPP was going to overthrow President Weah. That is why they sidelined your vice president. You don't know that. This time, if he win, they will sideline you again. They tell the man, look, the thing's so funny. The first election, the first time, the man gave you nothing. That the time you go vote again for him, and he not running again, he will not give you shit. Nothing he will give you. He will not do nothing. President Weah, we can't. There is no option. There is nothing left in President Weah. Look, you cannot be developing a country by imagination. You see one empty spot, you put something there. Because of the invisible park, we shut down a whole airport. We shut down a whole airport, or airport that we usually use to go in the counties, or small little airstrip. We shut it down because of the invisible park. Are we thinking? Are we thinking? They're squeezing. They put another small skating ring. They cut the whole working day. The president went there. The president got people working for him to sell history. Can I lie? Yeah, just call it the person who operating the place. That's a shame. But no Liberian can carry anything there to sell. Some people thought they were going to get a permit to go there. Nobody can get permit. Nobody. 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 Who's selling there? Only one pastry shop they got there. Everybody go there in the evening. All the government officials, the girls, also they go there. They say they're selling drink, but you can see people drunk. Other Liberians want to go there and sell open a little booth and whatsoever because that's a park. No, nobody. It's not fair. It's not owned by President Weah or because he's the president. But Mr. Louis Brown, thank you for endorsing Mr. Cummings. You're not no baby to Liberian politics. You're a giant. They call you a wing bear. Don't worry about it. What? Wing bear. So can I way you can, for nothing. They scare. They worry. We'll be at the market door. They worry if you're going to endorse it or going to call you hero. Y'all get ready. Y'all get ready to cost plenty people. Y'all get ready to cost plenty people. We're showing you that Liberia got patriots. They will change that country. And only this man here can change Liberia. This guy, the only man who is consistent. His message is clear. And he said it from 2016 and he stays saying it today. You know what, Joshua? I can use the main platform because they're not ready. When the man say the man is a planner, he's a financial officer, he's a technocrat, he's not a politician. He knows what Liberia needs because he go around the country and see it. And see it. Let President Weah bring up the argument, the debate. Anybody, let them come on the debate. We must make President Weah one-term president. Our country cannot just go down to the drain. It's in history. He's the president of Liberia. He's our president. but it is time that we let him go. It is time because he can't lead. He's not a leader. He worry who to appoint right now. He won't appoint his same close associate, Eugene Namwe. They're trying to bring two things. They won't bring Eugene Namwe to a state. Sidisha going to cry again. Because Eugene Namwe is not a bona fide sedition. He's a traitor. In a real political thing, he's a traitor. But maybe Joshua know what? Mawana Dix. So the president coming to the UN as usual. They come with enough money. And I don't know if they get restricted visa. They need to come to participate. And I hope that he meet President Biden. And that's it. But it's just so sad. Things are hard in our country. That real bread and butter issue, President, I don't know it. If the man took the oath to defend the people, but he can't defend nobody. The president make fun out of death. When Getty died, he said, oh, two of them were in the car making love. You got a president who go to his head office and say, oh, and I'm president today. I will cost Bernard Euro and his daughter. That's why they showed up Eugene. Look, Eugene Fagon, I like you, but you must decide. If you allow the time to overpower you, then you lost the integrity. Because Liberians will not trust you. You just did and gone back. And if they lose, they will not trust you. The only thing I'll tell you, they will know exactly what you're up to. And Joshua will never trust you. I told you before, you made a tape long time ago when you were with ALP. And that's what President Weah got against you. Well, you don't believe it. I told you, you know that. But if you think that you can flip-flop, and when they get the money to you, this and that, and it's not her, it's a news, it's unconfirmed. Some of them trying to talk now and say that they gave you money for you to open a radio station and you ate the money. I was sitting down, they were talking about women. That's one. It will come up again. But I showed, according to your tape, you said that if they don't pay you, you went on that show purposely. That's why you smart, Eugene. You started the conversation attacking Mo Ali and the opposition. Yes, for Kerry, Mr. Cummings, you try to gain that sympathy. But when you start to change the topic, you even ask Louis Brown, why are you supporting Mr. Cummings? Why are you doing it? But you were insisting on the war that passed. Every Liberian participated in the war one way or the other. Just by saying Doe must go, you took a side. Joshua said took a side during the war. He was still with Doe. Joshua ever spoke when Doe was chasing people? No. No. But y'all change the topic and try to make it out of Louis Brown, because Sidisha are very good at that, to change the topic, But the conversation was good until Stanton tried to do what he does. So Stan, you wrong Mariah. Or Pride, man, you will not apologize. That's your show. You own the show. That's your picture on there. Fine, that's good. But you do not call a woman rude. She never was not rude. It's not rudeness. You can't do that. You just said, since you wanted her to talk to you behind closed door, that's the thing now. You were trying to dictate. She was trying to call you out to just correct you on that. What you should have done as a leader of that group, you are to hold your peace and let her talk. And then you go behind closed door later on and say, Mariah, I don't like what you did. Let me finish, then you can call me out. But instead, you send her behind and you still make your statement, and then you call her rude. That's somebody. That's somebody's girlfriend. Or maybe it should be somebody's wife. Or you don't want to disrespect Dr. Frances because you know Frances, Dr. Frances' husband is a military man. He would not take it from you. He will walk onto you. You and Kev, Dr. Abraham Frances, and Abraham Richardson. He would not take it from you when you disrespect his wife publicly. He will come for you. I can promise you that. But Moriah is not married. So Kev and you call her rude. And you use the same statement. We built this platform because Jesus Christ died for us. So that's it. Because you built the platform. You started with Reverend Martin. Reverend Martin said no. You started with Reverend Martin and Peabody. Reverend Martin said no. But you disrespected her. I will be honest with you. This is not partisan or whatsoever. As a leader, even let's say you never had the power to send her behind the scene, to shut her off. You don't got the power. Now, and she still talking. A leader will shut up and close him mouth and let her to talk. When he finished, he thought, then we go by and say, let me tell you something. Don't do that next to me. Let us stick by it. But you can't shut her off, put her behind the scene, and then after she said, please don't do that to me again. Then when she left, then you call rude. Stanton, you marry me. I don't think you let somebody want to call your wife rude. I don't think so. Not because she's not married. That one, and Louis Brown was brave to tell you. He told you the straight talk. But you, Stanton, you the owner of the show. CDC gave you money to build your show at your station. But one thing you should understand, there's a connection between you and the government. Because you alone got 3 radio stations. And you always register while other people stay suffering. So, and then they will come on and say, no, Stan, Akara Grow will argue with you and challenge you. The guy then will call you from Moro and say, no. So, you criticizing George Weah publicly, so people will not notice that you actually in favor of them. Let's be honest. We're not stupid. We know. Like Sir said yesterday, you, Stanton, if you come out tomorrow and you endorse Mr. Weah, it will get more weight. Yeah. Because you spending money in Liberia. Liberian people are hungry. So if they lay fat, you're helping people, they lay 5,000, who will not know you. Who will not know? People, small people like us, they have to give somebody 50 that they know us. They have to give 25 that I know. What about you that giving 10,000 to people? They do. So technically, somebody will say, well, you buying your way too. So for Sir Joseph to say, Mr. Come, you know, you guys hide the fact. That is why I say you guys are not genuine. Y'all want to be like us. In a sense, we just I support somebody. I'm not running a network. I'm not running a network. I support Mr. Cummings. But you running a network. Everything we say about Mr. Cummings, why can't go into? Do you know why they say remember the 4th estate? You go and check. You went to BWI to find out if the generator was a new generator. No. You went to Nima Community College to say Mr. Cummings built the engineering college there? No. You ever went to Maryland to see if Mr. Cummings actually presented drugs and continued to do other things? No. Because it not interests you when you do that. They say you supported Mr. Cummings. You never did it. You ever went to find out if Mr. Cummings actually get a Peter lab at the University of Liberia? You ever ask the University of Liberia whether Mr. Cummings contributed $2 million? You ever ask WIAC if this Mr. Cummings may ever pay WIAC fee? That is what you need to do as a journalist. While you own radio station, you talk over the airwave until 12 o'clock and you give false information. Kev insulted Mr. Cummings, call Mr. Cummings gay. You never call Mr. Cummings gay. But on your platform, Kev called Mr. Cummings gay. In front of you in Liberia, he asked Mr. Cummings the same question because Kev is so damn stupid. He got mud in his brain. He got mud in his brain. Paul said, oh, but you're not running against Kev. And I'm running too either. I'm doing my own thing right now. Enough is enough. Stick to the issue. But because you don't have nothing to run on, you're accused and say all kinds of things about this man. You say all kinds of things about Ellis Cummings that I ask myself the question, why? You ain't get nothing to say. You brought Akara on, he lied. After Moriah Chester, he said, but the drugs again are fake, that was spy drugs, like old generator. You ever want to check? And then you laugh about it. You know the people text you from Monrovia? People be coming, you can't let that show, you can't be doing that thing there. You can't be doing this. Then I will advise you, take Moriah off the show. You can't compare Moriah with Dr. Frances. Dr. Frances is a psychologist. Take her time. She know what she know the time to talk. But you can't come and beg Dr. Frances. You respect Dr. Frances. I will be honest with you, Stan. You respect her. I don't care whatever your show you're on. If you disrespect her and her husband find out, he will come for you. Trust me. Abraham, don't see him looking quiet. If he found out, he will come for you. He will walk to get in the car and come to your house. You, Kev, anybody that he noticed that you disrespect his wife on that show, he said, I can't argue. Because Moriah is not married, so you disrespecting her. You got a sister, you got a wife. Don't call a woman rude. She never cursed you. She did nothing. She just wanted to try to correct you. That is not fair. Oh, money, you can't, you'll be attacked. Listen, if anybody tell me that nonsense there, the time you take to explain, I'm advising him. It's not correct. Leaders, if you are head of something, when you know it reached a point, allow her to talk. She said, no, Stan, do not. And the way you gave the information, well, we don't know yet, Mr. Cummings, and whether he played part. You don't know that Akara Grace said it on your show. Because that the news they want to run with and will not allow you to carry it. That the lies they want to carry. One other stupid one came on my show one time. Oh, the money that Mr. Cummings get, Mr. Taylor gave him money. I look at the guy for that. I said, Jack, go ahead and talk. These are some of the nonsense that people talk about. That the same nonsense, Mr. Cummings, that gay and this and that. You don't know who gay in Liberia. You should be ashamed of yourself. You think gay can hide in Liberia? Eh? You get stupid Kev Hassan on the show, insulting people publicly because it's on radio in Liberia. At least my own on the internet. On the internet, you can say anything you want to say. Okay? That is nonsense. You wrong that girl. If she will come, then you say, well, if she don't want to come on the show, fine. Your pride. Because you don't apologize too. You don't apologize. I know I'm talking, you not speak to me. And if you don't speak to me, that's your business. When I see you, I will speak to you. If you want walking from me, you can walk. That's your business. I tell you the real truth, my brother. But my heart is clear for everyone. Politics, you put aside. They say if you can't stand the heat, don't stay in the kitchen. But not because it's your show. That's your show. But what you did today, other people will praise you. Sidisha will say yes. The people who, Moriah Chester, they will be happy for you. But you repeated the same word in a chat. You said, platform we build. You caught yourself because you're trying to speak Jedekef. We built the platform, then you won't come here and be talking. That is very rude. How you call a woman rude? How you call a girl rude? She never did nothing. She was only trying to correct you that do not. You could say in a different way. You try to call Louis Brown. You try to say that Louis, somebody send that information to you. You think what I want to do? Louis Brown, faculty, all the guys there were people there who were the talks, the guy who talked, they were not fighters. They were not fighters. Everybody took part in the war. Everybody took part. The man explained on the TRC. Go and hear, listen what a little child said will understand it. The man said yes. The rebels, they were not trained properly. They killed people. Women and children are vulnerable to wars. Every war, the older people die. The children, the women. Until United Nations now strong about it. Why you think they talk about child soldier? They're strong because children, these are the vulnerable people during the war. And Louis Brown said he answered question. This is not fair. This is not fair at all. We shouldn't let the politics thing here because you don't know where to stand. You look at the government, you look at this, you look at this. Yes, you can blast George Weah. We now hear you blasting George Weah. We know that. But who know that if you're not pretending? You brought in Lester. You brought Lester in for what? What you brought Lester for? You see, this is the thing that you guys do that it make no damn sense. Or man just endorse. You are to bring him on and you ask all the questions, your panelists, and make the show sweet. But you brought Eugene Fagon, you brought Lester, you get Kef Hassan to attack the man. Kef Hassan talk about a part da. You damn Sierra Leone. My father is a Lebanese, but I was born in Liberia. I'm a Liberian. I serve my country. I serve my country, Liberia. Where you live in Liberia? To open your damn mouth every day on spoon, lying, insulting people. You ain't know Louis Brown. You know him? Eh? You want to talk about the war? You know what we went through during the war? Shut your damn mouth. We walk. We suffer. I lost nephews. I lost friends. Some of us said they almost got rid of, they almost killed us to clay. You know who went through? Eh? They all said I on top of war. They person fight war. And I say every day, if my brother did anything wrong, they will go for him. I don't hide it from nobody because I know the kind of person my brother is. Everybody took part in the war, one way or the other, by supporting Doe or supporting somebody or whatsoever. You look at the George Weah government today, the president, the vice president, that Chancellor wife. Why you criticize her? Prince Johnson supporting George Weah. Why you criticizing? General Charles Bright in the office of President Weah. Why you criticize them? Almost all the security with Charles with President Weah, they are all rebels, former rebels. Gaddafi, the who? Gaddafi, the who? All of them got tired, even including Jefferson Koji. He was a little boy, he used to go to Chucky house. That's why the blood all in he can be acting like he's some a military man. But you got the opportunity to sit on a platform and you lie. Instead of don't say nothing, he allow you to say it. All the people then say things you don't put them there. You sat down, Kef, insulting Mariah and saying things. I would never apologize. And you still, you're not apologize too. But you wrong for calling her rude. You wrong for calling her rude. You wrong. It's not because she's not married. One, I would not accept it. You are wrong 100% for calling her rude. As a leader for that show, if it was me, this is my action I'm going to take. I was going to allow Mariah to talk. If I said, no, wait, if she still want to talk, I will let her to talk. Then after the show, I said, man, I don't like what you did. I don't like for people to cut me off and this and that. Okay, you put her behind a place. And you know, this is the disrespectful, but you don't understand. When you send the person behind a place, you're giving them time out. You don't do that, man. Now what made Child Martin to show the other time? You don't do that. And don't you know? Yeah, people go, people come. I agree. People go, people come. I don't disrespect nobody, but they are intimidated of her because she's smart, research. Before she come on the show, but you're talking, she on the computer doing all her research. She's a research lawyer. But you guys don't research. You sit there for people to give you information. You don't even know about the person. The news people in Liberia can lie. They can lie. Some will tell the truth. Some will just lie, and you just look. But the woman did her research. And the woman says, stop it. Don't give such information. Because on the same show, Akara Kim, if you don't have it, you say, listen, you're going around carrying news. But right now, we don't know if Mr. Cummings was part of the war and this and that. You're trying to bring it up again. Yeah? Maybe something will come on later on. So that means you know that something coming up. Maybe something will come on later on. Listen, we will not allow you to get your biggest platform. Freetown men say Kaka long soto you go cut. Stanton, I tell you all them. You don't know. Business go, business come. So there are 3 radio stations in Liberia. But I think you owe the Liberian people to do the best thing. It's the radio station cannot be your propaganda arm. Even if you praise Mr. Cummings, you don't lie about Cummings. So praising Mr. Cummings and we don't say anything is the truth that you say about Mr. Cummings. That is the truth. But you trying to, the day you don't praise Cummings and you trying to give false information about Cummings, it's not a good thing. It's not. So that's the real truth, my brother. And I don't know, Moriah, Eli with me. Seriously, you don't need to be on spoon, Moriah. You don't need to be on spoon. Because they will try to shut you down. They all intimidated. They are intimidated. Because they don't do the research. They are afraid of you. The way you ask your question, you do not accuse nobody. You ask a question. That's what makes you to be a lawyer. You ask a question. And you call people out when they're making mistakes that the one can hide them. That the one can hide them. That's the one can hide them. But that was very bad. And then you want to put Frances and Moriah together for what? Oh, I respect Dr. Frances. Yeah, Dr. Frances is a different person. She presents her issue different way. But then too, you went to Frances' house before, and you know her husband. You know I went to Moriah's house. You don't know Moriah's husband or boyfriend, and you know she's not married. Because if you I'm telling you, if you disrespect Frances and she's not happy about it, Abraham Richardson will come for you. You will see the military side. Careful, you engage. You just don't do that. You're not married. How you feel for a man to talk to your sister that way? This woman don't disrespect nobody. She just gave you the same talk when she talking at one quarter. She still won't talk. She want to make her point. And when you lying, her responsibility is to call you because you're on the platform together. Then I know propaganda arm. Is that a spoon talk or propaganda arm for the government? No, it's not supposed to be. But you call Mr. Brown on the show to ask him question about why you putting Mr. Cummings, and you brought in Tandy and Fagon. What is speak? What's that? You brought these 2 people. Think that, Louis Brown. Thank you, Louis Brown. You win. Fagon explosive today. Fagon, you will make Liberian people respect you, my brother. So that means they pay you already. Because the last time the whole team were on, You talking about Mr. Cummings and then Tandy lying, Lester lying publicly, or Professor lying publicly. We're not a liar to do that. But you know, it's funny when made Mr. Cummings is a good guy. Mr. Cummings will be president of this country. That means you're making fun of Liberian people. I mean, you tell Liberian, say, oh, they got to make Joe we are president. After Joe we will bring Mr. Cummings. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Guys, y'all have a good day. God bless you. God bless Liberia. And God bless Alexander Cummings. God will make him president. God will change your mind. He is the Nehemiah of Liberia. He is the David. Now, the only man people are saying that he's just coming to him, like the man living there, but they say he's just coming. That the only man they say they can see your work. What Mr. Cummings not do? They can see your work. We challenge you. Mr. Cummings got more Liberian on scholarship than anybody. Sir Joseph said he got school, the school free. They ain't got library. They ain't got a lab, nothing. It's just a building. A lot of people open schools, different type of schools. The 3 international schools they get listed. One they're 5,000 a year, the other one 6,000, the other one the American one at 10,000. Mr. Cummings own that's 600 a year. The only science high school, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's not, they got everything that you can think about there. Everything that you can think about. And they got children who they're on scholarship, who make grades. And the Cummings Foundation contribute $25,000 every year to the school. And because of Mr. Cummings' hard work, because of his good work, that school was built. It was funded by Coca-Cola. You can sugar water. That the one you can drink. That's why your brain are all messed up. Because you enjoyed it. Mr. Cummings is a damn good salesman. He planned. He changed the dynamics in Liberia, in politics. He put in your ball shrinking in now. Reality kicking in. You ain't see it yet. You ain't see it yet. Because you're no Louis Brown. You're trembling. You're worried. You're think Louis Brown at Bel think we touch that one American man. He speak the real bastard. He will go to the people and tell the people. And people in MPP will come to Mr. Cummings. So you can do whatever you want to do. You can curse. Mr. Cummings that criminal, that your business. All I know he not criminal, so I will not get vexed. Mr. Cummings that gay, all I know he not gay, I will not get. So all the time you'll be cursing, I will be promoting Mr. Cummings. I will be promoting Mr. Cummings. You will curse, you will forget about your candidate, you will not say nothing again. You don't got nothing to say about Joe. You won't tell me about Refcam. You won't tell me, Mr. Cummings, I'll be president. Mr. Cummings, I'll be president. Your damn ass. Y'all have a good day. God bless you. Oh, no. Oh, I got to play my... No. I got to end it up way. You want me to play Eugene Fargo? Or let me play Mr. Cummings, eh? Yeah. And the president waiting. No, let me just play Eugene Fargo, you know. Or let me take a few second break. Mr. Cummings is the only man that will unite Liberia. That Mr. Cummings is the only one who speaks to the issue instead of criticizing.
My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Kipmount, the hospitable people of Bassa and Riverses, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bung, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
The guy is so strong and powerful. You're just afraid of him. Look, the guy is patient, man. Yeah, he's patient. Okay, guys. Yeah, thank you. Bye for now. And don't forget, let me put something up again. Yep. So Thursday, you'll hear from me tomorrow, but this will be the same topic on Thursday in Liberia. So don't worry. Bye for now.